But
Yeah.
I'm the type of person when I play music, I play the same song over and over again if I rap.
Yeah.
So at one point, my dad thought something was wrong because I would play the same song over and over again.
Yeah.
And it might be 10 songs. And that's when she was like, nah, he just has an ear for the music.
One of the biggest obstacles artists face in the music game is access. Getting access to the people that can make it happen, or access to the information and resources you need to get to the next level. That's the key. That's why you need two of the biggest in the game on your side. Introducing J.R. McKee, Boomman. Welcome to the real industrial plug. You heard me?
Yes, sir. Let's get it. Another episode of Real Industry Plugs is about to go down. And listen, man, I have an amazing guest today. My guy, Jason Reddick, one of the few born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. He is not an implant, people. I have a real ATLian. Amaretta can't say nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? What's up? So listen, let me explain to you who my guy is real quick, because as you all know, I'm bringing you all my real friends who are making the real moves in the industry. That's why it's called Real Industry Plugs. We're bringing y'all all the people that y'all should know. This is a true ATLian Jason Reddick. And so first of all, obviously right now he's director of creative at ASCAP, the PRO ASCAP. Formerly also PD at Hot 1079. Also has his own branding agencies, work with Pepsi and all the big brands, of course. You know what I mean? So just a heavy hitter in the industry. But Jason, if you would allow me, let me tell you how I see you when I see you walk into the room.
I'll tell it.
There are certain people in this world, not even just the music industry, that have the charisma and just the presence that they know everybody. You know what I mean? Like they're everywhere you go, Jason is standing in the middle of important person A and important person B. Jason is right there in the center of it. Like, this man is the most well-connected man that I know. You know what I mean? And that comes from just, again, like I said, it's charisma. It's like the way you control rooms. You know what I mean? Right. You are the dot connector. You know what I mean? You are the dot connector in the industry, which is why, like, I just had to name those different places that you've connected the dots at. You're not a one man show. I mean, a one band, what is it? One trick pony. I'm sorry. Right. You know what I mean? You're well connected. And I got a tip for you, Jason. Yeah. I think that you should be in politics. I think that you should be in politics.
That's a tough one. That's
well,
so
bro,
far down the road, possibly.
Politics is nothing but relationships, right?
Yeah.
That's what politics is. You're the most bro, I don't know nobody who don't know you and don't think highly of you.
I appreciate that.
You move in every room, everywhere I go in the city, and I don't even go out that much no more. But if I happen to step out, I can guarantee one man is going to be there, and that's Jason Reddick.
Nah, for sure.
He's going to be everywhere.
Yeah, that's
bro,
my design.
Well respected, well connected, man. So thank you.
I appreciate that.
For coming to bless the show, man.
Yeah, I appreciate
thank you. My guy, man. Jason Reddick is in the building.
I appreciate that.
So Jason, let's get it cracking, man. Cause the people on here, they already know who you are. Like, I really feel like a lot of times I had to introduce guests, but I think in Atlanta, if everybody is on here has any feet in the industry, they know who Jason Reddick is. You know what I mean?
I hope so. I don't take for granted, but I hope so. Yeah.
No, they trust me. They know. So. You know what I mean? And it's not just in person, like digital footprint, like Clubhouse. When we were heavy on Clubhouse, the number one person moderating every room was Jason Reddick. Yeah. You were, it's literally like in real life. You were in every room. You know what I mean? Everybody knows you. Everybody respects you. And bro, first of all, I just got to ask this from a personal sense. Bro, how did you develop that sort of sixth sense to just be likable and lovable by everybody?
I think I'm a science person, so I'm an Aquarius, and I think that's just an Aquarius thing.
Now we get into. I didn't expect it to go here, guys. I'm sorry.
I think it's an Aquarius thing.
But no, go ahead.
But part of that, but then also too, not only I was born here, but then for the first 15 years of my life, I lived overseas. So I lived in different communities and different areas in the world. Yeah. And then came back here for high school and college and all that. But I had to learn how to adapt in different rooms, in different situations, and different people. Because if you don't speak the language, you're going to get left. So I had to learn how to be able to adjust to any situation,
right,
and be around people. And for me, most people, I always, when I first meet somebody, I look at them as, until they do something to me, I just look at everybody as good people.
Good people, right.
Good business, good people, and I never take that for granted. So until I have my own experience with somebody, I never judge anybody early on. Everybody gets a clean slate with me, benefit of the doubt. So I just try to show love with everybody.
That's okay. So that's the key. Is like you have to treat everybody equally. Yeah. That's number one. Yeah. You know what I mean? Treat everybody equally unless they show you something different. Yeah. You know what I mean?
For sure.
All right. So let's get started at the beginning of this story. Because going back to you're one of the only people that's actually from here.
Yeah.
I know. Are your parents from here, or what's that history?
Nah. So my dad and mom were from Albany, Georgia. Okay. 3 hours away. My dad wanted to get out of Albany. And in Albany, it's such a small town. You have two options: is the military or move to Atlanta. Yeah. And so he decided to move to Atlanta, and then that's when I came along, and my mom, him and my mom were back and forth between here and Albany. So after that, my mom ended up marrying my stepdad. Okay. When I was 3, we went overseas. Like I said, I experienced it in different cultures, and then I came back and lived with my dad. And I was on the south side, so I went to College Park. I went to North Clayton High School. Right. So North Clayton is famous. Most people, if you know North Clayton, you know the history. That's 2 Chainz, members of ASCAP, Jermaine Dupri. That was awesome. Like a lot of people came through Monica. Yeah. They came through North Clayton. So it's a rich musical history in North Clayton in a sense.
And so is that what kind of set you on the path to be in music?
Nah, not really. Actually, it's crazy because in my era, I'm older. We didn't really know about music business jobs. Yeah. Like you saw the artists, you saw certain people, but you didn't really know there was business in a sense. Yeah. And by happenstance, I met a lady. She passed away. Her name is Chris Kelly. Okay. She was a PD on a radio station. And she just sent me a bunch of CDs one day and asked me to pick out some music that I liked when I was in high school. And by then, I was that guy that as soon as the CD came out, I bought it. Right. I didn't care what it was. If I was invested in the brand, I bought it. Yeah. And so she sent me these CDs, and I had already picked out a bunch of the songs already and sent it back to her. She was caught off guard. And she was like, okay, you got what they call an ear. You can play music. And so then she just started explaining to me different music business jobs and things like that. And then after that, I was like at 17. That was it. It was ton of music at that point. Like I didn't know nothing else.
What was her role?
She was a PD over 2 major radio stations, one in Chicago and one in Pittsburgh.
How'd you meet her?
My stepmom. That was her best friend.
That was your stepmother best friend?
Yeah, they grew up together. And my stepmom, because it was crazy, in the house, I would just play music. But I'm the type of person, when I play music, I play the same song over and over again if I rap. Yeah. So at one point, my dad thought something was wrong because I would play the same song over and over again. Yeah. And it might be 10 songs. And that's when she was like, nah, he just has an ear for the music. Right. And so that's when she would send me stuff and I would send her stuff that should be programmed. And that's when I learned about programming and playlists and things like that. The early play. That was the original playlist.
The original playlist. Yeah. Wow.
That was original playlisting.
And you know some that I took from the story, even prior to her introducing you to the different music business jobs, that I think about when I think about you now, traveling the world and meeting all those people. Like a lot of people, they I don't want to say they hate their past, but they're always upset. Well, why did my life go this way? But you never know what life is teaching you. Yeah. You know what I mean? And what all that traveling taught you was exactly what your golden power is now. Yeah. Being able to move in all these different rooms. For sure. You know what I mean? And so it's like never take your experiences for granted. Because a lot of people hate, oh man, I was a military guy. But you don't know what that's teaching you. Listen, man, you know what I mean?
I think that's what happens is people get caught up on what they don't like about something versus looking at what it taught you and what you can use to benefit yourself. Exactly. And that's how you get in the rooms and have conversations with people. Like a lot of people don't know how to start a conversation, but if you can figure out a common ground, especially if you have a bunch of stuff to pull from, it makes it a lot easier.
Right. All right. So after you caught that music business bug, which is when I was looking at what you went to college for as an arts. It was what was the exact major?
So it's public relations. It was that or marketing, and I think everybody went into marketing. I'm one of those weird people where I try to go different than everybody else. Yeah. And so I was like, well, shit, PR is similar, so let me do that. Yeah. And it really was just at that point going to school because at around 17 is when I started going to parties.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest with you, especially somebody in our generation, like if you wasn't either throwing parties or around it, you wasn't really in it.
Right,
because
exactly.
That's how we all started, and that's, even to this day, that's really how you start. Because that's the easiest entryway into getting into the mix. And so from there, I was blessed to meet some of my OGs to this day. Keenan Johnson, who
I ran into Keenan at the airport the other day.
Yeah, Carlton Green, Ty Samuels. They had a company called FCC.
Yeah.
And we would just throw parties. And I would be around them. And I went from working the door to VIP relations to promoting, to all types of stuff. That was just my ground level of learning the business.
Right.
And how it worked.
How did you balance the nightlife and school?
Yeah. I don't know if there's really a balance outside of just when you're young, you don't sleep.
Right.
Sleep is important now. Then it was like, as long as I got 3 hours of sleep, I can move.
You can move.
So it was like I would sleep during the day, go to some late classes, and then go straight into the club or networking or whatever that was.
Now, mind you, this is 06 we're talking about.
Yeah.
How do you feel like college helped your career, and do you feel like it will help people today?
It depends. So I went to college for my dad. I'm my dad's only child.
Okay.
And so he was really big on, you got to go to college. You got to go to college. So I literally went to college for him.
Right.
And it wasn't until I got out, I was like, so I went to college and I'm like, all right, cool. I graduated. Now what? And he looked at me like, shit, you got a degree, figure it out. I'm like, wait.
You made me do this. What are we doing?
College.
Yeah.
I thought there was a plan I thought you had a plan for me.
Right.
And that's when I realized, nah, that's not it. Like, if I knew what I know now, I would have went into college to even build more relationships. Because college, the same way I got a first class experience being overseas and learning things, that's what college does. Because college brings everybody from different places in the world, all over the country. You're going to learn different cultures. So you might have a roommate that's from Texas. You might have a homeboy that came from LA or somebody from New York, and you can get those experiences without going straight to those cities originally. Right. You can get with them, learn some things, and now you have relationships quicker and earlier on in different cities.
It's a networking event. For sure. You know what I mean? It's meeting your peers that are one day going to be something, with the hopes that you're one day going to be something, and you guys can help each other rise. You know what I mean? And I'm in the same boat. My dad made me go to college. You know what I mean? And so I was in there. I hated it. You know what I mean? But if it wasn't for being in college, I wouldn't have met my friends that eventually got a record deal. Exactly. And then they brought me along. And so that's how that's how I landed in the music business, because of my time in college. Yep. Now, the actual classes, I couldn't tell you one thing that I couldn't tell you a teacher name. I could tell you some of the girls I met, but that's about it. You know what I mean? Everything was, like you said, it was network. I met a lot of people. I still talk to a lot of the people that I knew from college, even like the ones who are like bankers and stuff. Like, I still talk to them. These are my friends for life. You know what I mean? So I definitely agree with the networking.